Hidden within the forests of the northern Vosges runs an old mountain path. For centuries, this ridge formed a natural passage between Alsace and Lorraine. Travelers, traders, and messengers once crossed these mountains long before modern roads existed. Along the path, weathered stones still stand where borders were drawn through the centuries. Silent markers of shifting frontiers between lands, kingdoms, and worlds. Yet some boundaries may be far older than those known to history. Today we're heading to the Rocher de Mutzig, a mountain that rises above the forests of the northern Vosges, in a landscape that has long been steeped in legends of giants, witches' gatherings, and restless spirits. Suddenly the forest opens, and a strange formation appears among the trees. An arch of sandstone, known as the Porte de Pierre, the Stone Gate. Geologists explain it as the work of erosion, shaping the red sandstone of the Vosges over countless millennia. Yet the landscape around it raises questions. Large, strangely symmetrical blocks of stone lie scattered nearby, as if the fragments of something much larger. Some resemble broken monoliths, like the ruins of giant menhirs. Perhaps it is only the imagination. Or perhaps this mountain once held a place of ritual long before history began to remember. In many ancient landscapes, stone arches were seen as gateways, thresholds between the everyday world and the unseen. Perhaps those who once roamed this mountain regarded the Porte de Pierre in the same way. Beyond the stone gate, the path climbs slowly toward the Rocher de Mutzig. For a while, it still winds through the forest, as if nothing unusual lay ahead. And then, something unexpected appears. A crumbling dry stone wall begins to follow the ridge, tracing the crest among weathered boulders. Its origin is uncertain. It may be medieval, as some say, or perhaps far, far older, built upon the shattered and barely recognizable remains of something much greater. A structure that may once have stretched up this mountain from a time now lost in the mists of history. Walls like this also appear on other enigmatic mountains of the Vosges, such as the Tinchel or Mont Saint-Odile. There too, partly enormous boulders lie scattered across the slopes, strangely shaped, almost artificial forms. And the walls run between these stones like narrow bands of masonry, as if they were linking the giant blocks. At some point, the wall is gone, broken, buried, or perhaps never meant to continue. The trail rises on, moving through this landscape of fractured rock. And then they appear again, the old boundary stones, some of them placed here a few centuries ago. Standing among the weathered boulders, they seem to echo something far older, like markers pointing to a landscape we no longer understand, the last traces of a forgotten order. Places like this can be found across the Vosges, where strange, ruin-like fields of stone and boundary markers share the same ridges and paths, as if these mountains had always been marked, long before borders were drawn. The way leads on, through terrain that feels both shaped and forgotten. The ridge slowly begins to level out as we continue toward the summit of the Rocher de Mutzig. The boundary stones remain, still marking the line across the mountain. But something else becomes visible. Smaller blocks of stone begin to appear along the way, not scattered through the forest, but concentrated here, following the same narrow course for hundreds of meters. To either side, the forest floor lies mostly clear, and yet here, the stones seem to trace the way itself, almost as if this route had once been more than it appears. Perhaps something took shape here long ago, now reduced to fragments and barely recognizable traces. Or are these the broken remnants of the wall we encountered below? The last hints of an arrangement that may have extended all the way from the Porte de Pierre to the summit. Before the summit reveals itself, the mountain offers a first sign. A smaller cluster of stone emerges among the trees, broken, angular, yet strangely gathered. A quiet suggestion of what lies ahead. And then it appears. The summit. A vast field of fractured blocks, piled and scattered across the crown of the mountain. Too concentrated, too defined, to feel entirely at ease with the landscape around it. It is as if something immense once stood here and fell. From above, the shape becomes clearer. A central mass surrounded by fragments that seem to radiate outward. Not random, but following a form that is no longer whole. For a brief moment, an image appears, a vision of what might once have been. A towering presence rising from this very place, and then it is gone again. From every angle, the formation tells the same story. Vertical faces split apart, massive slabs leaning, broken, displaced, as if a single body had been shattered and left to collapse into itself. It does not resemble a simple outcrop. It feels dislocated, like the remains of something that no longer endures. And standing here, surrounded by these fragments, it becomes difficult not to see it. Not as a hill of stone, but as the broken form of something that once rose far higher above the forests below. What we have witnessed today remains uncertain. It may be nothing more than the work of nature, or this ridge may carry something far older. Walking down these narrow paths, it is hard not to wonder how many such landscapes exist, visible yet rarely understood, and how much of the past still lies hidden in plain sight, waiting to reveal itself.